Georgia is smack dab in the middle of the new SEC primary, and folks there want to be heard early and carry some influence.
So far, the election's been about just one state at a time voting. But now Georgia and a whole bunch of the others are going to hit the polls all at once. A day with so many states voting, it could well determine who the final presidential nominees are going to be for 2016.
Democratic strategist Steph Turkheimer says this March 1st primary, stretching from Alaska to Massachusetts and across the South from Texas to Virginia, could weed out the small fries.
It's very difficult for a smaller retail campaign to run in so many states at the same time.
Still, Lawrenceville lawyer and Republican activist Jason Thompson remains excited about this broad GOP field.
More evangelical. We've got some that just have, basic business backgrounds. There's a surgeon. Compared to the Democrats, we actually have minorities instead of just old white people.
State Senator Brandon Beach worries about how well the outsiders and new senators have done because he says governing experience is crucial.
We've tried this experiment with the current president, Obama, with no track record of governing, no track record or experience of managing anything, just being a senator. And so I think it's important to have some executive experience.
Thompson doesn't mind Ted Cruz's and Marco Rubio's lack of experience, but is peeved Rubio backed any kind of Senate immigration deal because this defense lawyer thinks we're in an immigration crisis.
Some of my clients that are deported, guess how long it takes them to get back here? About 2 days. To Georgia. Okay? So there really isn't a border, right? There isn't a fence, there isn't anything.
As for the Democrats, Republican analyst Julianne Thompson expects Hillary Clinton to do much better than Bernie Sanders with SEC primary voters in the South.
For the most part, they just prefer Hillary Clinton because most of them are not ready to go in the direction of socialism. And even though they're Democrats and we may not agree on policy, they still believe in capitalism.
Playing to so many states at once, though, could hurt Hillary's party rival.
Once you get into the larger primary, the Waffle House or SEC primary, you're talking about a media strategy. And Bernie's media strategy hasn't really been on point. His commercials sort of look like advertisements for Woodstock as opposed to the presidency.
But Turkheimer says Bernie could have legs.
I think that he may actually beat 40% in Georgia. And if he does that, then she's got a real race because he's going to take Colorado, he's going to take Minnesota.
That part scares Jason Thompson and Senator Beach.
He has said he's a socialist. He went on his honeymoon to Moscow, Russia. He is wanting to take 90% of our pay and redistribute it, and he won New Hampshire. That ought to scare us a lot.
Once upon a time in America, that would have just been taboo, that anyone that even mentioned socialism.
Meanwhile, Democrat Turkheimer thinks Cruz could soar in the evangelical-heavy SEC primary, and Rubio too.
He's got good support in Georgia. The reality is that there's a lot of sort of battling for second place. But you've got Texas coming up, and Donald Trump can't even pronounce Houston correctly. So there's going to be real opportunities for a candidate like Rubio and Ted Cruz.
Whoever ends up winning, Julianne Thompson hopes and believes the party will quickly unite around him.
Because America cannot stand another 4 years of an extension of the Obama administration, which is what they would get with Hillary Clinton, or far worse, America does not need to go down the road of socialism.
Whoever wins the Republican nomination, I'll be behind them solidly because we can't take a chance on Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton.
It really doesn't get much bigger than this, where all the remaining candidates have to commit people everywhere at once, be ready to spend big bucks in huge markets, and play across the entire national canvas at once. Paul Strand, CBN News, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia.